I'll be presenting about the information system used by TradeMe. So I'll be also discussing about the transformation of businesses in digital age when it comes to information system and the types of information system that they are currently using, the role of knowledge management, ethical issues in the context of information system, and methodologies for modeling and designing information system. Okay, so for the information system, there are actually 5 components to have this completed. It's composed of the hardware, the software, the database, the process, and the people. So this 5 actually communicates with each other. So this is the computer side. So this is the human side, which is the process and the people. So the human side actually, automation works from human side to computer side. So that's how automation happens between the information system. So information system was designed to collect, to process, store, and distribute information all across the organization. And the provider of this information system actually provides the user of the information needed to do any task effectively and efficiently. So this information system is used for function integration, monitoring of the market, strategy development, and strategy implementation. And types of information system I'll be discussing. So we have 3 levels, which is operational level, management level, and executive level. So for operational level, so the company is using transaction processing system, which is TPS. And this is used by logistics, finance, sales and marketing, customer service, and HR. So to fulfill this, TPS is used just to fulfill the basic needs for record keeping, just for the records. And this is used for payroll system. Example, the billing systems, purchasing system, and shipping records. And also for the next level is the management information system, which is MIS. This is the summary, data summary from the TPS to enhance operational efficiency. Okay, so this is used by the managers, the mid-managers, and we also have on the management level, which is the DSS, Decision Support System, which is used by senior managers to analyze the data, internal and external, of course, which is used in decision making. So this is the second level. And then after this process, all data will go up the executive level, which is the executive support system. So this is actually used by top senior management. So just to analyze the trend by looking at the various reports, summaries of this management, this DSS, MIS, and also TPS. So once they already gather all the data from this side, they will be able to formulate a strategic plan for the next this long term, 3 to 5 years. Actually here, I forgot to mention that on the management level, they would be able to also do a planning just for a short period of time. So after that, after everything has been processed from operational level up to executive level, they will be able to do a strategic plan, which goes down back to the operational level for implementation. Okay, so after this, this is actually what happens in any organization, especially big organizations like TradeMe, how everything is being done within the organization. So next, so the role of knowledge management. So this is very important because information is inside the organization, inside TradeMe. So the use of this information is very, very important it's vital to any company. So at the start, there are actually 3 types of knowledges, which is the explicit, the implicit, and the tacit knowledge. Okay. For the tacit knowledge, I'll give you an example. It's like a baby it's like a human being. A tacit knowledge is we know how to breathe, right? So this one is, we know how to do something without being to explain, right? That's a tacit knowledge. So from the start there, this is the information. So company would analyze or evaluate, have we articulated it, means encoded or coded it, right? Codified it. So if yes, this becomes an explicit knowledge, which is data is processed, the data is processed, organized, structured, and interpreted. The result is explicit knowledge. This is like the policies and procedures, policies, processes inside the organization. But if this information they codified it, they said no, but can they codify it? If it says yes, it becomes an implicit knowledge, which is the best practice and skills that are transferable from job to job. Okay, so it's like inside the training system or the training activities inside the organization. That's how the implicit knowledge would result. Okay, next. Ethical issues in information system. We actually have two types of ethical issues. So first, which is intellectual property rights. So trade is very serious about violations of intellectual property rights, especially when it comes to trademarks and copyright. So they work hard to guarantee that their site is free of counterfeit products that violate the intellectual property rights of the other people. So they want TradeMe to remain the place their members can purchase genuine items with confidence. And the next one is, for your information, the next one is the ethical issues of data privacy. Okay, so TradeMe, this is very vital to TradeMe, especially for data, because we all know that it's an online platform. So customers' information are put inside their system, so they would be able to capture all those. Actually, the reason why they're trying to do that is because they want to personalize any like marketing campaigns for their clients. But of course, that also be quite especially for hackers. So trading is very important, very strictly following policies and law when it comes to data privacy. So they were actually for the last 7 years they've been releasing annual transparency report, because trust and safety team of TradeMe only release relevant and necessary information when it is legally requested by any government agencies like the police, immigration. So TradeMe is one of the 3 recipients of the Office of the Privacy Commissioners, which is Privacy Trust Mark, which recognizes the work that they do when it comes to transparency report. So so this transparency report is actually it's posted on their website, so everyone would know how many percentage have been released to police, to immigration, to any other government agencies. Because they also there are requests that TradeMe also pushbacks. They don't just release information. So they try to make sure that it's really relevant and necessary. Okay, next. So for methods of modeling and designing information system. Okay, so SDLC, which is software system development life cycle, is a process used to design, to develop, and test high quality softwares. So aims to produce a high quality software that meets or exceeds customer expectations and reaches completion within times and cost estimates. So I'll be discussing first the waterfall, which is the first SDLC process that companies were adapting before. But I think some other companies are still using this. So waterfall is actually a sequential model. So it's one step. Once you're done with the first step, then you will be able to go to the next step. You won't be able to go to the next step unless you're not done with the first step. So phases are completed one at a time. Here, companies should have a requirement which is really clear. This is good for small projects. This is very simple and easy to understand, and of course, the problem is that the disadvantage of waterfall is revision or modification is not allowed. So once you have done all these phases, you can go back to the first stage. And the next one is what we call the prototype. So a lot of companies are also using this. Prototype is good for your projects which are, or the requirements are not really clear. So this is the most popular use when it comes to SDLC. So if your requirements or the company requirements are not clear, so if there is a campaign, so this one is the best, prototype model is the best. This is also simple and easy to understand, okay? Errors can be detected earlier from the time it's being developed during the phase. However, this is time and money consuming. So requirement analysis is what's going to happen during the prototype. So requirement analysis, so the software developer would analyze the requirement of the company. They design a prototype, okay? So design and then prototyping. And then once the prototype has been developed, customer will evaluate if this meets their expectation. So they have to review and refine. If customer have already approved the prototype, which already meets their expectation, so they develop it, they test, and then they release. That's it. So if not, they have to go back again. So if they have not, so they have, after that, if it's still not the customer is not satisfied, then they have to review and then design again for another prototype development. And as for the next one is the agile. This one is the incremental model, okay? This permits to develop software in small and quick segments. So agile has more flexibility for changes, so because multiple iteration can happen during the process. Faster implementation of changes, okay, more flexibility for changes. So initial project will start here, they plan, required analysis, and analyze the requirement, then they design, and then multiple iteration happens between the process. So there will be errors that they can modify or rectify any problems, development testing. So once they have already with a testing phase, if the client would accept, then they release it. If not, then they have to go back to the planning again, analysis, and then iterations happen. So this big company is actually using this, especially with TradeMe. For TradeMe, they have been using the Agile for software development practice for 5.5 years. We got this information last 2018, so it's already 6 years. So they're using the Agile development, the Agile software development practice for the past 6 years. So next, I really don't know how much about the technicalities, how this is being done inside TradeMe. But this is just want to share with you that TradeMe is using Agile. We have confirmed that. Next. Okay, for electronic retailing growth in New Zealand, Kiwis are becoming more digital in terms of shopping. We all know that, okay? And virtual shops are increasingly popular. People prefer to buy online. And 3 out of 5 Kiwis, New Zealanders, use their smartphones while looking at a particular product before purchasing. And brick and mortar shops are still there, definitely. So that's why there is New World, Farmers, Warehouse. Because 4 out of 5 Kiwis, they still look at the products online for availability, and they go to the shop for the actual product, to see the actual product. And retailers now are prioritize innovation because they want to make sure that they have the online presence. That's what's happening inside New Zealand when it comes to e-retailing. Next is the issues, of course, with e-retailing is the secure payment and quality of the products. So, of course, we all know that you have to put your credit card information, your personal information online, and of course you don't know the momentary intangibility of the product. You can touch it, you won't be able to see exactly what's the quality of the product. So for another issue is the data privacy, and consumer expect them to protect their data actively. So Trade Me is good with this when it comes to data privacy. And in anticipation of future trends, of course, the industry, any industry here in New Zealand needs to learn from their existing consumer behavior and they should know how to adapt. They should know how Kiwis adapt to the rapid change in the digital age. For e-tailing business models, so we do have pure play e-tailers, the click and mortar retailers, and direct marketing by mail orders. So we would say that Trade Me is a pure play e-tailers because they don't have a physical store. Same with eBay, AliExpress, and Wish. So for e-tailers company, they don't have the physical store, just the online presence. And for click and mortar retailers, this is now the trend also in New Zealand. Because big companies like Warehouse, New World, Harvey Norman, Noel Liming, they already adopted this kind of model or e-tailing business model. So they have a physical store, they also have the online presence. So same with Warehouse, so they can purchase online and they pick it up at the store, or they can purchase online or see products online and then go to the store to see the actual product. Direct marketing by email orders. For Trade Me, they do send emails. That's why we have seen that 2.7 million of emails per day. They send it to their customer database, customer contacts. This is to send, especially those users or members who have been inactive for the past 1 month, 2 weeks. So they encourage people to post or list their products to sell more. So Trade Me can earn more because they earn. Trade Me earns from success fees of all sold products. They also earn from advertisements. So there are companies like, for example, they would send emails to companies to post their requirements, their job postings, their job requirements through Trade Me. So Trade Me would be able to earn from them. Okay, next.